Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is $3 Theater for the 28th of January 2018. Oh, man, listen, first and foremost, I'd like to apologize for not being on the last couple days of last week. I had to go out of town for Thursday and Friday to a very dusty town in eastern Washington, spend a couple days out there, and then I was able to return home, but not until late Friday night. So by that point in time, it was already the weekend, and I was like, screw it, I'm just going to go to bed and try to catch up on some TV watching, which ultimately I didn't really. I think I've been marathoning The Punisher season 2, and as soon as we're done recording tonight's episode, I will be going and finishing it up. Looking forward to that one there. So one of the cool things, I want to start off with this today. I wanted to start off with this because to me this is pretty dope. A friend of mine has been hooking me up with some request forms with some PR companies in regards to getting out content, getting movies, getting things like that. And as a result, I finally got one in the mail. I got my first hit, if you will, and it was one that I wasn't necessarily expecting. So I was blessed with a copy of Cloverfield Paradox on Blu-ray to review, and I'm going to check this out over the course of this week and get a review up on $3 Reviews, as well as probably some kind of breakdown content for this channel, maybe a top 5. I haven't fully determined that yet, but to me it's pretty funny because this is a year-old movie that premiered on Super Bowl Sunday last year to mixed reviews, by the way. Fans who liked Cloverfield liked it. People who did not like Cloverfield and wanted a straightforward science fiction movie, they not so much. And I ultimately enjoyed the damn thing. I did. So this has 25 minutes of never-before-seen special features, which I was a little bit peculiar to me, right? So it says here that the Blu-ray the special features are things not as are not as they appear, the making of Cloverfield Paradox, and Shepherd Team the cast. So no real information as to what that is. So I thought we would just open it up and see what's on the inside. Maybe something good's in here. Maybe something that didn't even work. Maybe something is better. Come on, there we go. There we go. All right, we're tearing it off. We're just ripping off the cellophane, throwing it. It's gone. It's gone now. All right, Cloverfield Paradox, the Blu-ray, pretty simple design, and on the inside, it's just the disc. It's just the disc, no insert, but it does remind you to recycle, which is always good. So I don't quite know yet what's going to be here, but it is rated PG-13. By the Motion Picture Association of America, to which case, why? This movie was put on Netflix. It should entirely be unrated with all the nudity and sex that goes along with it. So the interesting thing, though, is just looking at this, it does say things are not as they appear, so I'm kind of speculating on that one. I'm wondering if it ties into the Cloverfield universe, right? Ties into Cloverfield universe, because that's why fans liked it. That's why fans liked it. Now, there are people out there who enjoyed it on its own as just being a standalone film. Other people liked that it was tied into Cloverfield in very similar ways as to 10 Cloverfield Lane. Well, with one major exception that I don't want to say if you haven't seen the movie. So if you are looking to check out the Cloverfield Paradox, it is available on Netflix, but it will be available on Blu-ray for your home video collection on February 5th. And again, I will be rewatching it, reviewing the Blu-ray and everything else over on $3 Reviews, but I wanted to do my first official unboxing with you guys. We'll see where things go in the future, right? We'll just see where they end up. So we don't quite know yet. But anyway, today's been a wild damn day. Over the weekend, a lot happened. Again, because I was gone for a couple days, I didn't get to touch upon the fact that F is for Family was renewed for 4th season, which is excellent news because that is, in my opinion, the best animated show on Netflix right now. Sorry, BoJack Horseman, you good, but you ain't build a wall and throw you through it good. You know what I mean? You're not Bill Burr good. Your standard Will Arnett fare, but with deeper themes, sure, fine. But ultimately, that was one of the big things. And then a couple other things happened too. I'm trying to remember right now that I blanked on because I literally have got tabs upon tabs upon tabs that are open right now on my computer because there's a lot to go through today, especially the first thing. And the first thing here is actually the See You Soon teaser trailer we got for Harley Quinn and Birds of Prey. Again, we can see her here just like smiling and drinking a margarita. You know, this image of her dancing around with what appears to be cheerleader pom poms on her wings, and kind of, you know, obvious reference to birds. But she's got the one tattoo that we can see. And it looks like a younger version of Margot Robbie in this one. This is obviously before all the extra makeup and all the extra, you know, effects are going to be put into it here. We got Ewan McGregor as Black Mask, which is now confirmed he was in the movie, because beforehand we didn't know if he was going to be in the movie. They kept going back and forth. Is he in it? Isn't he in it? We don't know. But now we have confirmation. Him standing here looking menacingly in a velvet suit. Here's a better shot of him up close, wearing a different outfit, but clearly Ewan McGregor prior to the mask. And obviously he's going to be a big A-lister movie star. So they're going to want to make sure that, you know, he's going to be adequately represented in the marketing. Then we've got Mary Elizabeth Winstead as Huntress. This was a very quick shot that was in the trailer. Very, very, very quick shot of her holding her crossbow, obviously alluding to the fact that she's going to be, you know, shanking some foos, you know, because she's a vigilante in Gotham that runs afoul of Batman every once in a while. We got, was it Chris Messina as Victor Zsasz? And this was funny because he showed up at the Golden Globes the other night with the bleach hair, and everyone's like, oh, is this your Zaz look? And he looks pretty, I guess, menacing there, kind of. And it's hard to see Chris Messina as a menacing guy. But this one looks a little bit better. It looks like a little bit more crazier with the gold tooth and the ring and the jacket. Like, it looks like it's a bit more, like, crazy. But then again, I liked Zaz from Gotham. That actor plays NoHo Hank and Barry, which is coming back in the spring. This had a new teaser for that today too. Looks pretty great. Then we've got Rosie Perez as Renee Montoya. I don't know much about this character, but it's Rosie Perez. So expect, I don't know, mediocrity. Then we've got, I cannot pronounce this woman's name, but this is Black Canary. Juliet something Smith something or another. But this is a shot we got of her. And then, of course, we've got, this is Cassandra Cain, young Cassandra Cain, with her broken arm saying Gotham on it, and got some swear words on it. And a lot of people have been talking about this because they cast Cassandra Cain in Birds of Prey. Not to be confused with Kate Kane, who is Batwoman. Cassandra Cain becomes Batgirl. It's so, you know, this is where it gets confusing in regards to comic book character names. It's all like, oh yeah, you got Catherine Kane and Cassandra Cain. Don't worry, they're not related, nor are their last names spelled the same. And even the first letters of the names are different. You have CC and KK. Sometimes I feel like when it comes to secret identities of superheroes, their names are just super derivative of one another, and they just run out of ideas. I mean, Slade Wilson, Wade Wilson, obvious ripoff right there. Arguably a more popular character in terms of cinematic approach to stuff. But I ultimately enjoyed the Birds of Prey teaser for what it was, and I saw exactly what it was. This is just, hey guys, we're doing a costume and makeup test. Why don't you come to this dimly lit warehouse, and we're just gonna like shoot a lot of photos and behind the scenes stuff. And these are the kind of photos that you're gonna see on a magazine cover, whether it's Empire or Entertainment Weekly. I had no idea, but these are the kind of shots that are going to make their way there. You can tell they just wanted to put something together, probably pre-Super Bowl. To get people talking about it. The movie's shooting right now. It comes out in a year, and you know, they want people to know that it's actually happening, even though ultimately that was never going to be the case. But I mean, let's be fair here. It's like you've got Suicide Squad 2, which has been delayed. It was supposed to come out last year, but it was delayed. James Gunn reportedly writing and directing it, kind of doing a soft reboot, which makes sense if he is going to be directing it. But I think he is writing it. And it, you know, obviously they're going to want to use Harley Quinn. They're going to want to use Will Smith as Deadshot. They're going to want to also bring in new characters to kind of fill out this team. But they don't want to, you know, risk Margot Robbie running out her contract. Although I don't think that would necessarily happen. And here's why. I say that predominantly because Margot Robbie loves the character. Her production company is handling this movie. So she's invested into it. So I think however long it took would would just be a reality. It would just happen at some point in time. But I'm curious to see where Warner's is going to go with this, considering the fact that this kind of feels more in line with Suicide Squad's visuals rather than Aquaman's visuals, which a lot of people have responded to. Even Shazam and the more lighthearted approach to these type of characters is being more positively responded to than Suicide Squad, which is arguably the worst film in the franchise, according to some fans. So it's going to be weird to see how it all plays out, but we'll have to wait and wait for an actual trailer whenever that will drop. If I don't know, summertime perhaps, maybe around Comic-Con we'll get a full trailer for the movie, but that's still a few months out. Speaking of things that will be talked about and revived to an extent, Starship Troopers. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. I love me some Starship Troopers. You guys have like literally no fucking idea how much I love Starship Troopers. That movie, 1997, came out, blew my damn mind. Saw it multiple times in the theater. Even though I was only 15, I still found my way into an R-rated film because that's how crafty of an individual I am. That's how crafty of a person I am when it came to getting into R-rated films in the 1990s. Nowadays, this is easy. You walk up to a 13-year-old, don't even need ID. I'm here to see Deadpool. Don't mind my voice. And they're like, yeah, go on in, kid. No one cares. Back when I was a youngling, back when I was a youngster, back in the olden days, you used to have to try really, really, really hard in order to get into these films. But anyway, Starship Troopers, great movie. Apparently it's coming back. I mean, they're rebooting it, but they're also talking about doing a TV show with the cast. Now, it says here, HN Entertainment recently featured an interview with original Starship Troopers screenwriter Ed Neumeyer, which includes his tentative remarks about the possibility of a television revival. Asked whether Van Dien, that would be Casper Van Dien, could revisit the role of Johnny Rico for the small screen alongside other cast members, Neumeyer reportedly sounded cautiously optimistic, saying, I don't want to jinx anything, but we're talking about trying to do a television show that is based on that idea, he said, adding later that a newer CGI-heavy movie treatment may have a hard time living up to the expectations without the talents of Van Dien, Jake Busey, Dina Meyer, or Denise Richards. Finishing up here by saying, well, I have mixed feelings about the reboot because I think that what we did with the first Starship is almost not repeatable in a way. The spectacle of giant creatures, the ridiculous bloodshed, and all that stuff. I don't know if this world of CG, you can do all that stuff pretty easily, but seeing a bunch of creatures fighting might not be interesting enough right now. For me, other people might like it. So what he's basically trying to say, and I agree with him, is like a CG-heavy reboot of Starship Troopers could go either way. I mean, if you remember, they did Starship Troopers 3 with Casper Van Dien, and it was straight to home video, and it was kind of panned, and the graphics were kind of crappy. Then you had what, Heroes of the Federation? Was that the second one? Where they're basically in a cave the entire time. It looked like a made-for-TV sci-fi film that just was like, and a lot of people didn't really care for it. But doing a reboot of the movie, it could be interesting, provided they play up the propaganda aspects of the time. Paul Verhoeven really nailed it in regards to the propaganda and how it played into the larger themes of what he was going for in that original movie back in '97. And I don't think anyone out there would be able to really recreate it in a way that would be as biting in terms of satire than when it comes to violence and Verhoeven. And I again, he did that with RoboCop, you know, he really kind of played that element up. He did that with Total Recall. He played those elements up. This is something he is good at. And when we've seen his other films get remade, they did kind of in RoboCop 2014. I'll be fair. In RoboCop 2014, they really did play up the another angle of bigotry and racism with like the robophobia and things along those lines. They tried, but it didn't play it as well as the first RoboCop did. Now they're doing Blumkamp's RoboCop 2, which is going to be a direct sequel to the original film. And again, I don't know if Blomkamp is going to really be able to tell that kind of story in that kind of way, which is why it's going to be very weird to reboot this without Verhoeven being involved. But if they want to go to the small screen, they want to do a cable TV ready version of Starship Troopers with Johnny Rico and Ace Levy and Dizzy and Carmen Ibanez, and they want to do it that way, I'm on board. Anything with more Jake Busey and Casper Van Dien, I'm okay with. Specifically Jake Busey. I don't think the guy gets enough play. I just don't. I don't think the guy gets enough play in this world, and I want to make sure that he does. I love me some Jake Busey, right? But anyway, let's talk about Toy Story 4 and what we got today in regards to the story of Bo Peep, right? Apparently, the new Toy Story teaser brings Bo Peep out of hiding. We get a good look at her here. Definitely a redesigned Bo Peep, complete redesign. It looks like she's got a bit of an upgrade since we last saw her in the year 2000 in Toy Story in Toy Story 2, right? We didn't get to see her in number 3 because she was gone. All they said was that she was gone. And so alongside the story of Forky, which is going to be the spork turned toy that is having an identity crisis, which I did talk about that last week, and I felt that was kind of lame to an extent. They are going to be giving us a story of Bo Peep and her coming back into the picture. Now, this article says here, Bo Peep is a long-lost friend of Woody, Buzz, and the gang, but she always has shared a special connection with Woody. However, they have not seen each other in years, and Bo has become chipped and faded over time. Bo's strengths and sarcasm always bellied her delicate porcelain exterior, and it turns out she's an adventure-seeking free spirit who feels right at home on the road. Toy Story 4 will show that she and Woody have reunited under unlikely circumstances, and they begin to realize that they've grown apart when it comes to life as a toy. It has been teased that the movie will include a love story, but it seems that it won't be that simple. So let's kind of take a look at that for a hot second here. So what does that basically mean? Well, what that basically means is that Bo was gone. I thought when Bo was gone, it was because, and then again, this is what they insinuated, that she was given away. Is that she was given away when Andy's younger sister, whose name escapes me at the moment, went and grew up. Because children grew up, these toys grow up, you know, and they just got rid of her. Andy just got rid of her, they just gave her away, sort of thing. But the way they're implying it here is that she grew bored of being a toy. She grew bored of her place. She grew bored of where she had known as her home, and ultimately decided to leave and seek adventure elsewhere. You know, and that was, again, a theme that wasn't really ever explored before, which is, that's, to me, probably a very fascinating aspect of this particular story. I didn't really care much for the toy identity and reverse factor that they're going for with Forky, because I feel it's kind of derivative and we've seen it before. Granted, not from this perspective, but still it does feel a little bit on the derivative side. But Bo's story of a toy breaking free of the mold and then going off and living her life is something that I find to be fascinating. Now, it does say here, this is coming from Josh Cooley, the director, saying Bo's taking control of her own destiny. While Woody was watching Andy grow up, Bo gathered dust until she took it upon herself to head out into the world. And when Woody shows up, they can't believe they found each other again. And yeah, again, that's the love story, is somehow this is going to be everything to do with going to the carnival. Because we know that's going to be a plot. We know that's going to be an aspect of the movie where they got to take Forky from Bonnie's to a carnival where they meet Keegan-Michael Key and Jordan Peele, and then they're going to meet a whole bunch of other toys at this carnival, like the Carney toys, and I think that's where they're going to come in and meet up with Bo Peep again. And of course, they're going to have their adventure, and ultimately it's going to, you know what the movie's going to end up, right? You can already kind of tell how it's going to end. Woody's going to have to make a choice, because it ultimately boils down to that kind of emotional conclusion. That's what it's going to be. I think that's the emotional conclusion that we keep hearing about from Tom Hanks and Tim Allen, is it's going to be the separation of Woody and Buzz. I think that's what it's going to be. I think Woody is ultimately going to have to make that choice of leaving a life as a toy behind and going off with Bo Peep to experience life in a whole new way. And that Buzz and the gang are going to stay there for Bonnie because they feel that that's their job, that that's their duty, is to be a toy for these kids and to provide them with imagination and joy and love and be there, because that was always Woody's prerogative with Andy, right? All the way back in the first movie, that was always the thing. And I feel ultimately that's kind of what's going to be happening here. I feel that's what we're going to be seeing with this. And I think at the end, he's going to go with Bo. If I'm being honest, I think Woody is going to go with Bo, because how do you definitively end a series? Right? How do you definitively end a franchise like this that is over 20 years, 25 years, somewhere in there, by having its main characters split apart? Right? That's how you definitively end it. And they're not going to do a spinoff after that. Maybe a couple made for TV sort of things, because they like to do those. But I think that's what's going to be. I think at the end of the day, Woody is going to choose Bo. He's going to choose love. He's going to choose what he wants in life, and that's he is to be happy with the woman that he loves, someone that he's been in love with, but he always felt that duty, and I think that's what it's going to be. And I hope that I'm right. I hope that I'm right. I do, because I think that would be a good way to end it. And I know I'm gonna freaking cry. I have no problem admitting that. I'm man enough to admit I'm gonna cry. I cried at freaking Toy Story 3, man. Jesus, that movie was sad. But anyway, Super Bowl's firing up this week. Super Bowl's coming into town. I don't really know where it's at. I don't know who's playing. I think it's the Patriots. I think it's the cheating Patriots, right? I think it's those guys that always cheat their way to victory. And then the Rams. Are those that who's playing? I got no idea. I don't watch sports ball. I only watch it for the commercials, which are already making their way online. By the way, that whole thing with the Big Lebowski, Jeff Bridges coming back as the dude is just a Stella Artois commercial, and it was lame as hell. It was dumb as hell, stupid as hell, and I ain't for that. I ain't down with that one damn bit. But we did find out, confirmed find out, that there will be no Star Wars Episode 9 teaser or trailer at the Super Bowl. Nope, not at all. It's been confirmed here, saying that Disney will not purchase airtime for Star Wars Episode 9 during Sunday's Super Bowl 13. The studio debuted first footage from Solo last year, which emerged as the second most buzzed about trailer, second only to Disney's own Avengers Infinity War. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Disney would not confirm reports that the studio had purchased an undisclosed number of ad spots, which could bring new looks to the studio's prolific 2019 slate, including Captain Marvel, Dumbo, Aladdin, Avengers, Toy Story 4, and The Lion King. And then it says here that Disney could hold off on the Episode 9 teaser with either its March releases or for Star Wars Celebration in April in Chicago. And ultimately, that's the more accurate take on it, in my opinion. That is the more accurate take on it. I think we're not going to see anything until maybe Captain Marvel. I think I'll tell you this. This is my gut feeling on this one. We're going to see a teaser before Captain Marvel, and it's going to be short. It's going to be a short minute-long teaser, but it's going to be a way to put butts in seats for Captain Marvel. Now, people like to argue with me on this one that Captain Marvel is not going to be as big as they want it to be. It's not. I'm sorry. It's just simply not going to be as big as they want it to be. The ticket sales for it are strong on the offset. So was Solo. Right? Glass was predicted to pull in 120 million on its opening weekend, cleared 60. You know, estimates are not always accurate. So let's be fair here. But if you were to attach a fucking Star Wars trailer to Captain Marvel, you got people that are going to go see it. Yeah. They can watch it online, and they will watch it online. They'll watch it with pants on and pants off, if you know what I mean. But they'll still go see it in the theater at least once on the opening weekend to get the full cinematic experience of the first Star Wars Episode 9 teaser trailer. You know this. You know this to be true. And of course, that's going to help bring in more bucks to a movie that honest to God, I don't see buzz for. I still don't see buzz for it. People are talking about it, but like no one I've talked to is all like, I'm gonna go see Captain Marvel. Yeah. But if you put a Star Wars trailer in front of that, it's gonna be like, you're gonna go see a Star Wars trailer. Yeah, then I already paid for it. I might as well sit through Captain Marvel. And there you got it. That's how Disney is gonna rake in the dough. Throw on a teaser trailer for Captain Marvel, and then throw on a full trailer in front of Avengers. Actually, we won't see a full trailer probably until April Celebration, which then will lead into Avengers, which that seems to make sense on a marketing standpoint. And so I'll be curious to see what happens with that. So what we got here is a funny situation where Warner's is really, really, really excited, obviously, for the release of Detective Pikachu, because a couple days ago, and again, I missed this because I was out of town, Detective Pikachu sequel is in the works with 22 Jump Street writer. Okay. I don't know if that's something you're really going to want to sit there and go like, hey guys, we got the writer of 22 Jump Street to come in to do Detective Pikachu #2. But it does show you that ultimately Legendary and Warner Brothers are 100% behind this property, with actually, I think, good reason. So it says here that Legendary has begun work on a sequel to its Pokemon-based movie, hiring Oren Uziel to pen the script. The movie is a sign of confidence as it comes close to 3 months before the company's release of the Ryan Reynolds star on May 10th. Now, you got to remember that Pokemon or Detective Pikachu comes out only 2 weeks after Avengers Endgame. Just 2 weeks. I don't know. I would push it another week. I would push it back to June. I would do something. If you were that confident in this movie, do something to push it back out of the way, especially on a domestic scale. On a domestic side of things, get it out of the way. Give it 3 weeks space. Endgame is going to suck up all the money in the box office. It is. I have a theory, and I've mentioned this before, that there's only a finite amount of money that is available for the summer movie season, and that and certain movies are going to get it. And you know, like, there's big movies coming out that are not just Endgame, but Endgame is the biggest one, so I think it's going to pull in the most cash. But they are definitely backing this guy. It says here that Uziel has shown himself to be a franchise player, having most recently worked on Paramount's video game adaptation of Sonic the Hedgehog, which is set to be released November 8th, as well as the upcoming Men in Black International. His credits include 22 Jump Street and The Cloverfield Paradox. He's also writing a Supergirl movie for Warner Brothers. So this guy's kind of like the it dude right now, is essentially what they're trying to say. That this guy is kind of like the it guy, right? And that's fine. That's fine with me. They want to make this dude the it dude. That's cool. I think one of the things, though, that's going to be interesting ultimately is seeing this one right here. Sorry, let me bring it up. What we got is I went and I looked at the predictions for Pokemon Detective Pikachu, just to see whether or not there's, you know, a solid reason to announce a sequel 3 months out. So it says here that according to IMDb's predictions page, that it's going to gross $1 to $1.25 billion worldwide, with 280 to 340 million domestic, with a 55 to 72% on Rotten Tomatoes. Now that's an interesting take. Think about that for a second, right? You've got by the way, even Star Wars Episode 9 underneath that was projected to gross 1 to 1.12 billion. So Episode 9 is already projected, at least on IMDb, to go down. And Detective Pikachu is looking to do about 1.2 bill. But 340 million domestic. I would hope for more domestic, to be honest with you. But then again, Pokemon is a worldwide brand. Okay, there's no denying that. Pokemon is absolutely a worldwide brand. Pokemon is very much something that people have grown up with. I grew up with it. I mean, 20 years ago, I was playing Pokemon on my Game Boy. Watching the animated movie in theaters that they're remaking. In upgraded CG graphics. They're gonna make Pokemon the first movie again, with just updated, effects. And it's like, cool. Could it have a better story? Because it was kind of a weak story, to be fair. But obviously they feel that this is going to be a big thing. And I did talk about this before, where, previously I'd mentioned there was an idea that there was going to be a possible Pokemon cinematic universe, and that this movie might actually end up being like the catalyst for that. And I think looking at Detective Pikachu just as a trailer and how excited I got for it and how excited a lot of other people got for it, I think we're looking at a pretty good idea here of what's going to be. I think we're going to get another movie. But them announcing it this soon shows confidence. Whereas if they would have announced a sequel leading up to, like, let's say May 8th or something, they would have announced a sequel. It would have shown that they're not as confident in the film, and they're just trying to get extra buzz to get more butts in the seats to make sure that their take home on the first 3 days is a lot larger than it would be. So there's that. Now, speaking of news I did not see coming, but I'm pleasantly surprised with, and it kind of makes sense given how things have been. Universal tried and failed to boot the Dark Universe, right? To kick off the Dark Universe, to give us a world, a cinematic, where there's a cinematic franchise full of monster movies. And I'm not against that, actually. I really wanted The Mummy in 2017 to be a success. I really wanted Bride of Frankenstein to be coming out. Technically, this month is when they had originally announced for it to come out. I wanted there to be the Invisible Man. I wanted there to be the Wolfman. I wanted there to be all of these things. That would have been cool to see in the cinematic world, but Alex Kurtzman kind of boffed it. He admitted that. He did also say in an interview, ultimately, that it was kind of the execs at Universal that came in and kind of screwed it up. But I don't know, if you talk to people who've been watching Star Trek Discovery Season 2, they just want to blame Kurtzman for literally everything. So there's no pleasing some people out there. But Blumhouse, on the other hand, is on this incredible winning streak with showing like almost no signs of slowing down. None whatsoever. And it even came out today saying that Blumhouse is taking over the Universal Monsters. And first up is the Invisible Man. When's the last time we had an Invisible Man movie? That would be like the Memoirs of an Invisible Man, starring Chevy Chase and Daryl Hannah and Sam Neill, and directed by John freaking Carpenter from, I want to say, like 1995, somewhere in there. By the way, that's actually a really solid movie. It's a really good movie. So if you haven't seen it, I recommend it, but they were going to do a lot more with it. So it says here that Variety reports that this is a fresh strategy to the Universal Monsters properties, bringing creative directors with distinctive visions to the classic characters. Also saying that this first film is a new rebranding, with Lee Wannell signing on to direct the reboot of Invisible Man. The upgrade director is no stranger to the studio, crafting the previously mentioned action film alongside with Insidious: The Last Key. Johnny Depp was attached to star in the movie, but sources say he will not appear, and it doesn't know who's going to be taking it over right now. I don't really have any idea for who could possibly be taking over the role of the Invisible Man, but let's take a quick second to look at Lee Wannell, not just from Upgrade, and I feel like Flickering Myth here really did a disservice in regards to really exemplifying just who this dude is. This guy, along with James Wan, created Saw. He wrote Saw. James Wan directed it. By the way, Lee Wannell was the dude who was chained up in the bathroom alongside Carrie Elwes in the first movie. So this dude has launched franchises. He's worked on a lot of stuff over the years. He's well respected in the horror game. And I think The Invisible Man under his direction could actually be pretty solid. It could be pretty good. One of those movies that actually finds its footing. And with Blumhouse on board, you know it's going to be a lower budget, but more creative driven. I think less producer oversight, which is honestly what generally tends to kill a lot of these movies, are the producers coming in with their notes. And that ends up kind of like borking the process, so to speak. But there's been no word about whether or not this is a full reboot of the the dark universe. I think that's kind of dead. I think that's pretty much dead. But at the same time, they're going to be maybe telling more stories with these characters and tying them into the same world. I don't know how it's all going to work out yet, but I think Blumhouse again is on a massive roll, and they have been for years. So I got the faith. I've got the faith that they're going to be able to know what they're going to be able to do. And finally, because that was a lot to cover so far, but finally today, guys, we got ourselves a bit of a rumor, maybe a bit of a myth. We don't quite know if it's real, don't quite know if it's fake, but if it's real, this is going to be super interesting because Warner's looked at the success of the Lego movie, the Lego Batman movie. Probably going to be the upcoming Lego movie Part 2. Not so much Lego Ninjago because no one talked about that movie when it came out. Can you even recall when Lego Ninjago came out? I'm going to give you a hint. It was September 2017. You're like, that long ago? Really? No one ever saw that movie because it came out the same month as It, and It took over everything in September 2017. So it got kind of swallowed up, even though that was an R-rated horror movie and this was an animated film. It got swallowed up. I'm just saying. So anyway, what we're learning today is this image popped up on Twitter from Daniel Richtman, who does quite a bit in regards to breaking stories. Now, what we see here is a listing of what could be coming out from Warner Brothers in the future. We see Cat in the Hat after the success of The Grinch. That makes sense. Another DC movie. We have the Jetsons, Coyote versus Acme. Was that Toto? They're going to do a Toto movie, another Lego movie, Space Jam in the bottom corner. You can't see it's underneath the Lego, but look at the top one here. Funko and Funkoville. Funko and Funkoville. That's interesting, isn't it? That's pretty peculiar, isn't it? Funko the movie. Well, everyone's been talking about it. Daniel himself even goes on to say on Twitter that some of the characters are already confirmed for this movie. Darth Vader, Deadpool, Hellboy, Harley Quinn, Wonder Woman, Care Bears, My Little Pony, and Hello Kitty. Yeah. I mean, I don't know about you, but a Hello Kitty Deadpool crossover would be really funny for the comic book fans. But just kind of think for a minute about that, right? Think for a minute about this in regards to just the licensing for the characters. Darth Vader, Deadpool, okay, those are both under Disney, right? Hellboy, not under Disney. Harley Quinn, Wonder Woman, I think even Care Bears are all under Warner's. I think even My Little Pony is under that as well. And Hello Kitty is its own brand. So we got a couple different Star Wars and Marvel characters as well as DC characters. That's a little peculiar. That's a little interesting. That's Who Framed Roger Rabbit interesting. And we all know that given current licensing rights, And the way that shit breaks down, there's no way we would ever get to see a Who Framed Roger Rabbit sequel without there being all original characters or whatever. We would never get to see Bugs Bunny and Mickey Mouse on screen again. So this could be a way for them to kind of go about it. This could be a way for them to find a way to tell that kind of story. This could be a kind of way to make that kind of movie, because Funko has the licensing rights to all of these characters. I know I was actually at their home store in Everett, Washington about a month and a half ago. And that was a lot of fun, had a lot of fun up there. And so they've got all the rights to all these characters, as well as their own original characters, which apparently are really popular in their own right. And they've been doing little animated short films for Marvel for a while now that Marvel will put on their official YouTube channel. So it makes sense that they're going to want to go into maybe making this as a feature. And Warner's wants to then expand upon it because they've already seen success with the Lego movie and the fact that they've got all those licensed characters to be able to bring in. So that could be a way to maybe bridge the gap, but we'll have to wait and see. This again is not official. It is not confirmed. It is only a rumor, but it's an interesting one to say the least. Again, I just can't personally think that the licensing aspect of this is going to be an easy fight. I just can't see that happening. But then again, going back to the Lego movie, a Warner Brothers movie, right? A Warner Brothers film had the Millennium Falcon pop up with Han and Lando, right? So you had the Millennium Falcon, which is Disney owned, in a Warner Brothers animated movie, standing next to Batman, which is a wholly Warner Brothers owned property. So we saw it 5 years ago. It could happen again. It could happen again. And I think kicking off a Funko world would be very interesting. I think it'd be a very interesting type of movie to make, and the success, because Jesus Christ. Okay. Let me just put it to you guys like this, just to tell you how crazy this stuff is. I went and took a look on some of the Funko selling, like where you can buy and sell and trade these things. And these things go for a lot of money. I was at Comic-Con in 2015. I got a Conan O'Brien Funko. That was exclusive to the day I saw Conan O'Brien. And as a result of that, some dude outside offered me upwards of $200 for it. Well, that particular set goes for like nearly $1,000, right? Goes for nearly $1,000. So for just those 4 Funko Pops of Conan O'Brien, this is a market that even at Comic-Con, if you want to go and get in on like the special San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Funkos, you got to be there at like 5:30 in the morning to get a chit, to get in line, to wait for another couple hours to go in and buy what you want. I mean, this is a market. I did not even realize that until recently. And I want nothing to do with it on a professional level because I don't have the money to invest. But it is fascinating to talk about. And again, seeing how popular these things are, putting it into a movie that's well received, it could be $1 billion property. No questions asked, in my opinion. All right. That's all I got for today. That's all the stories I got. That took a while. That took a little bit. Whew, here's some water. All right. Man, that was a lot. That was a lot. But I appreciate you guys sticking with me. Now, we did got one email here that I wanted to address real quick. This came in a couple days ago, and it's from Connor saying, "Hey, Matt, how's it going? Just a question about the Transformers and TMNT. I'm not too sure who owns the rights exactly, but could they and should they exist in the same universe with the upcoming universe? Same thing with Ghostbusters, Men in Black, and 21 Jump Street. That would be cool to see the universes expand, or is it too much?" So Connor, the thing with that is, it's an interesting one, predominantly because what you're looking at here is a situation where it could be too many cooks in the kitchen. Now, I'm not against like a Men in Black Ghostbusters type team up, to be honest with you. That makes a lot more sense than Men in Black and 21 Jump Street, which is what they talked about. Even though that's now officially dead, they talked about that a while ago. And there was some serious thought given to it. So even though it was very weird and everyone was like, why? I don't get it. It makes no sense to me, man. What the hell's going on here? But ultimately, the way I view it is that they want to tie in Ghostbusters to something. Hell, tying it into Men in Black would be a far better thing than Ghostbusters 2016. I'm just saying. I think that would be kind of funny, where there's a problem with ghosts and aliens in New York, and the Men in Black need Ghostbusters to help solve the problem. It could make for a very interesting movie, and one that I don't think Sony has crossed off the list, to be fair. As for TMNT and Transformers, I think they're both wholly owned by Hasbro, which could see a crossover. I don't quite know if the world would be able to, if its brain would break if there was a TMNT Transformers movie. My brain would melt. I know that for a fact. I'd be like, could you imagine like Michelangelo riding on top of Bumblebee into battle, right? Just and going, "Cowabunga, dude!" Like that would just be like, it would be dope. It'd be fantastic. I would love to see it. So yeah, thank you very much for that one. It's been a slow weekend, not a lot of emails. Again, if you guys want to contact us, you can do that at 3bucktheater@gmail.com or 818-350-3281. That's 818-350-3281. And I do read all of these and see when they come in. So again, it's been a slow week because I didn't do episodes last Thursday or Friday, and I haven't really posted it all weekend. So there's that. But now we've got about 20 minutes left because I blazed through these insanely long stories here. Holy crap. That was a lot. What exactly do you guys want to talk about? Let's clear out Chrome a little bit. It doesn't bog down my damn computer. All right. Oh, TMNT is on my Playmate. Okay, I'm wrong. I'm sorry. Thank you very much, Michelle, for letting me know on that one. Let's see here. Okay, Mike. Oh, all right. Mike Myers fucked it up. Oh, you're talking about Cat in the Hat. I mean, it's not all Mike Myers' fault. To be fair, after the success of The Grinch, which was very successful, they rushed the Cat in the Hat movie through. I still think Sean Hayes was like the worst thing in that movie. Let's see here. Do I think Captain Marvel will become very average, minor flop movie? No, it won't be a minor flop. It won't be like I mean, I can sit there and say it's going to be a flop. It's not going to flop. The movie is too close to Avengers Endgame to flop. It is. It's just too close. It really is too close to flop. That's the problem with it. It's almost too big to fail because of what's preceded it. I mean, if you look at if you were to look at all other MCU movies as being corpses, right? It would climb onto the top of those corpses and be top of the mound for a while, at least 6 weeks. So people coming off of watching Avengers Infinity War, which is now on Netflix, you can watch that anytime you want. They're going to sit there and want to go and watch Captain Marvel to see, for one, information on the Skrees, because now there's reports coming out like the Hulk and War Machine are secretly Skrees, or Skrulls. Sorry, Skrulls, my bad. They're secretly Skrulls, and that like they're setting up for Secret Invasion, and that's going to be the next big thing, and that's going to be the next 5-year event. And the thing is, if they set up these 5-year events, that's actually pretty cool. That will maintain the MCU in perpetuity, really. If they create these types of events, if they create these ongoing, every few years there's a big event movie that kind of like clears house. They bring in new characters, and then imagine the Marvel Cinematic Universe in 20 years, at their 20-year mark. So in 10 years, 2028, right? So you got 2028, whatever's going to be coming out then. I don't know, Avengers like Pendejo edition or some shit. So you got that, and then Kevin Feige's like, all right, who's like still alive we haven't cast in a while? They're going to bring back Robert Downey Jr. They're going to bring back everybody, and it's going to be this like massive film. But I do think ultimately what we're going to see here is we're going to see a couple characters continue forward with the MCU as it stands. And I'm not lying when I say this, but I really do feel it's going to be Chris Hemsworth. I think we're going to get Thor 4. I think we're going to get Thor 5. I think he's going to be a staple because provided they keep it interesting and keep it fun, people are still going to go see it. Rachel here says, let's see here. A couple days ago, you claimed Ratatouille was the worst Pixar film. Yes. I can explain why I think Ratatouille. It's not the worst Pixar movie. That's Cars 2, but it's right there above it. Ratatouille is a movie to me that doesn't know what it wants to be thematically. Its message, while kind of summarizing down to like anyone can cook, which is what people take away from it. It's everything that leads into it. It's like, don't steal, don't do this, do this. It's so confusing, so conflicting. Frozen is the exact same way. When it comes to themes and it comes to messages, the Ratatouille and Frozen, neither one know what the hell they want to be. and they kind of throw a lot of different things against the wall and they wait to see what sticks. But because it deals with a rat that can cook and talk, and it's, you know, little cute Patton Oswalt, and it's, you know, it's mimicking France and with Janine Garofalo, then people kind of bought it, man. I just think people kind of bought it. There was like this romantic side to Pixar in 2007, you know, coming off of Cars from the previous year. People were deriding Cars left and right, never mind that it grossed over $1 billion in merchandise sales. But coming off of Cars and going into Ratatouille, I think was like, to many people, was this like breath of fresh air, right? And like, oh, we're back to Pixar in top form. And then the next year was Wall-E, so fuck you on that one. That was a better movie. But no, Ratatouille was just not good. I've tried so many times to like it. I keep going, is it something wrong with me? Is there something wrong with me? Is that the problem? And then I get to it, and I'm like, no, it's pretty bad. Let's see here. Endgame trailer is next week. Do we have confirmation of that? Let's see. The wife of Dr. Seuss said the Cat in the Hat was so dirty that she would not risk the property again. Maybe the Paris Hilton as like a what's the, you know, Paris Hilton's in that movie, by the way, holding like 2 mugs of beer and like looking all sultry, like, hi guys, I'm Paris Hilton. I hear cats have a barbed penis and I like that. It's so cool. It's so hot. That's kind of what I think. Let's see here. Let's see. You're mournful for Toy Story 4. Why is that? Safety Zoom. Actually, why aren't you a mod? You should be a mod. Let's see here. Let's see. What are my thoughts on the cult series Gravity Falls? Gravity Falls was great. I haven't seen all of it yet. I've seen a lot of it, but I haven't seen all of it yet. But it was great, and I'm very bummed it ended when it ended. I get why they ended it though, but it's good. Hey, what's going on, Antonio? How is Brazil going? Yes, Luneth. Frozen is awful, terrible movie. Let's see here. Okay, so there's a website that's got the Dr. Seuss's Widow's reaction. All right. Let's see here. North Dakota says hello. Well, thank you, North Dakota. Hi. House Sturgis. Things well on the west side of the state. I've never been to North Dakota. Been to South Dakota a bunch. Never North Dakota. Let's see here. Sometimes you don't want to see Marvel movies anymore after Endgame. Well, then don't go see freaking Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel, Anthony. But like Endgame, she's going to be a big part of Endgame, so you got to deal with it. The Endgame trailer will beat Super Bowl. Ah, yeah. Did I manage to work out things with Mecha Random? No. No. I tried watching one of her videos and I was like, no, I'm good. I'm fine. I'm fine. Select YouTube, not interested. Don't want to see any more from this channel. That's how I view that person. Let's see, which looks better? Mike Myers as Cat in the Hat or Jim Carrey in The Grinch? Jim Carrey. 100% Jim Carrey. 100% Jim Carrey. The way Jim Carrey is the kind of guy who he went through hell to be in that movie. Effectively, he did. He went through hell to be in that freaking movie. So I'm totally on board with him. With that movie. Just The Grinch was really solid. You know, like it was really, really good in general. You know, so there's that. All right. Sturgis. Sorry, what am I thinking? What's in North Dakota? What's in that? What's in? You got Fargo on the corner. What am I thinking of? It starts with a B, I think. I was wrong. It's the Dakotas. You should just be one. You should just be one damn state. You should just be one damn state. Let's see. Toy Story 4 is a blatant cash grab, and Pixar purged its best creators last year. I agree. I mean, I would agree that Toy Story 3 was a cash grab too, but it had a compelling story, so there's that. Let's see here. Let's see. Are you excited for Toy Story 4 and Sonic? I don't know about the Sonic redesign. I don't know about that. I really don't know. I look at the Sonic redesign, and I'm just like, yeah, no. Like the legs are like, I get they're trying to be funny. I get it. But like, this is one of those ones that strikes me as like, they brought in a no-name director. So if it fails, they could just put it on him. Fargo is a brilliant series. I need to see it. Bismarck. Am I thinking of Bismarck? Which is the one that has the motorcycle guys? Which is that one? Yeah, no, I'm still seeing Toy Story 4. I'm still going to go see it. Like, I'm totally going to go. There's that. No, RT, you are wrong. She's not a nice person. I don't know why you keep saying that. Like, I criticized her. This is really funny. So I criticized her. Okay. So a commentator that says she didn't watch a movie, but watched someone else talk about the movie, and that was her informed opinion. And I was like, I don't know. I don't think I wouldn't really trust your word if you haven't seen something. You know, if you talk about it and then you don't go see it, but you still talk about it, it's like, I don't really, you know, you didn't follow through. I think that's the way I personally view it. And I said that not even in a mean way or whatever. And I got back well, look at my social blade. It's not an argument, but that's how people like that operate. So that's fine. That's fine. Am I going to see Avengers Endgame? Yeah, totally. Motorcycles aren't. I thought they were in fucking North Dakota. I guess I was wrong. Okay, well then I was right in Sturgis and thinking what I was thinking. I was just in the wrong state. Furry Sonic. Yes, can be very interesting. No, RT. I have no desire, and like, you can stop bringing her up. I don't want to talk about her. What are my thoughts on the HBO Michael Jackson doc? Is that the new one, the 4-hour one they just showed at Sundance? The Leaving Neverland. I'm surprised HBO ran with that. That's like, HBO is like totally pro industry. So I didn't think they would actively go against. I didn't think they would actively go against. What is it? Michael Jackson. Fans are not going to buy that. Like, that's the thing. Is fans fans are not going to sit there and take the documentary lightly. Let's see here. Any thoughts on the Watchmen TV series? Man, you know what? I want to know more about that show. I think that's going to be dope as shit. I don't know when we're going to get a trailer, but I think it's going to be dope as hell. We're probably going to get a trailer like around Game of Thrones time, because everyone's going to be talking Game of Thrones and stuff. I think that's going to be a big thing. So there's that. And then, am I going to go see Lego Movie 2? Yes. Yeah, I'm totally going to go see it. I just got to get to the theater. Have I watched Kingdom yet? No, I have not watched Kingdom. I'm so behind. I'm finishing up, what's it called? I'm finishing up Punisher tonight. I need to review that. I need to watch Genlock episode 2. By the way, if you haven't seen Genlock and you like anime, and I'm not an anime fan, head over to Rooster Teeth and check that out. Like, the first episode is pretty dope. So, am I ever going to review Bohemian Rhapsody? Yeah, soon. I think it comes out here pretty soon. It's up for Best Picture, so I think they might put it back in theaters. For me right now, the hardest part is just getting to theaters. It's just getting to the movie theater is really difficult for me. You know, I got a 14-month-old. I do this full time. I'm home in the daytime. You know, it's hard for me. I got to pick and choose. Let's see here. Let's see here. Am I excited for Doom Patrol? Yeah. I want to check it out. The trailer looks pretty dope. The trailer looked pretty good. I want to check out Doom Patrol. Let's see. This says the same thing about the R. Kelly documentary that came out last month. Well, the R. Kelly documentary, Lifetime. So, it's just Lifetime. Like, I don't think anyone takes Lifetime seriously. It's like, people talked about it, then they stopped talking about it. I think the only thing that come out of the R. Kelly documentary was Spotify adding the mute artist feature. That was it. Genlock is VRV. No, it's an anime. It's an anime about mechs. I don't know what VRV is. I don't know. VR? Is it VR you're talking about? I don't know. What's my favorite anime? I don't have a favorite anime. I just don't. This is not my thing right now to have a favorite anime. I think, if I had, probably like Full Metal Alchemist. I really loved Full Metal Alchemist. I watched the whole 52 episode season or series, and then also the movie. I haven't seen Brotherhood though, or the live action movie. The live action looks pretty bad. I've been avoiding it in that particular sense, but I gotta go check it out. Let's see. What turns me off from anime? You want to know okay, I'll tell you what turns me off from anime. The fucking voice acting turns me off. And not just the voice acting and like the American side of it, but like oh my god, it's, I don't know, the high-pitched squeaky shit. The fucking stories are weird. I don't get fucking hentai. I don't need to see a tentacle go to places that the sun don't shine. You know, I mean, like, is it hygienic with the suction cups on the side? Is it going to be removing like the uterine lining? What the hell is going on? You know, arguably it would probably be a very good, but like, you know, thing for your butt. But the point is just anime to me, there are good anime. There is, let me speak properly, proper punctuation, proper grammar here. There is good there is good anime. Yeah, this is right. There happens to be good anime. And I've seen some of it. But I don't actively seek it out. If someone like puts me down and like, you need to watch this, maybe I'll check it out. But in the meantime, I don't know. I don't Oh, VRV is a streaming platform. Oh, okay. Then no, it's not that. Unless that's on Rooster Teeth. I don't know what that is though. You got to fucking explain that to me. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, I need to see, what's that Goblin one that came out? Goblin Party? Is that it? Because everyone told me to watch that too. Because it pissed off the social justice warriors. Gotta go after the SJWs. They don't like the goblins doing the weird, sexy things with the human ladies. Right? And that gets them all sorts of mad. I don't know. I hear it's interesting. I just haven't checked it out. Red Wolf. Yeah, man, I'm going to be on Monday through Friday, 5 to 6 p.m. So we got about 5 more minutes left. Let's see if anyone here has sent any more questions in. You can always do that. Okay, Rachel, you already asked me that question. And let me check the voicemail because they're on separate emails like a fucking moron. I need to probably switch over the emails if I can, if it will let me. Okay, because I created the voicemail line using an alternate Gmail account that I had, and I didn't even bother to like create one for, like, that would be tied to like the podcast. That's just me being stupid. Let's see here. Okay, no, nothing on there. Cool, that's fine. I'm okay with that. We're good on that front. So yeah, I mean, obviously there's a, did I ever watch, is it Ruby? Is that pronounced Ruby? Goblin Slayer. That's it. I haven't seen Ruby or RYBY. I just looked it up. I didn't know Monty actually created that. And, I was really, really sad when that dude died. My brother absolutely loves it and wants me to check it out. I think I downloaded the episodes that were on YouTube. I was going on a flight. I had time to kill and I just never got around to watching them. Goblin Slayer is one that, okay, pissed off everyone. Oh, Miss Shark, you're going to upload that podcast. Good. No, I left the email, I left the Gmail up, so I just quickly refreshed it. What's my favorite American cartoon? Probably South Park, if I'm being honest. Just for we're talking longevity here. Like, I love Simpsons, but like, I've actively not watched The Simpsons and longer than the show has been on. So like, at one point in time, like when all the Simpsons shows go to a streaming service, probably Hulu, because Disney will then own it. And I can then go back to the beginning. I can sit down with my daughter and go, all right, kiddo, we're going to go back in time. The year was 1989. The show was The Simpsons. So premiering on Fox, we're going to learn about the glorious journey of how Santa's little helper became a member of the family, as well as Bart the General, which is still my all-time favorite episode, is Bart the General. From season 1, I think season 1, episode 3 is still my all-time favorite episode. Then of course, Monorail season 4 is a great episode. You know, the first 12 seasons of that show are great. I mean, well, maybe first 10 seasons of the show are great. And then after that, I don't even know what the hell's going on with it anymore. Shows, I think I went through a seasonal rot. Oh, do you mean shows that were like, just got bad as time went on? Like The Office kind of did in its 7th season post, or no, its 8th season post Steve Carell. And don't get me wrong, I loved Robert California, but I felt the show was having trouble. But then when Robert California left and the show was just like the core cast for the final season, with Andy being a branch manager who was never there, because in reality, Ed Helms was off shooting the next Hangover movie. I thought it kind of fell into its own again and got good. Parks and Rec kind of fell apart towards the end. I didn't like the 3-year time jump for the last season. But it was fine. I still love Parks and Rec, but I feel it kind of died off in its last season. There's been some other shows I'm trying to think right now that have done that. Oh man, like, I'm trying to think. Off the top of my head, I can't really think right now. Let's see here. Will I get the DC streaming service? Yes, I have it. I pre-ordered it when Comic-Con had their deal. It was $75 for it was $75 for 13 months or 15 months. So it breaks down to like $4 and like 73 cents a month. So yeah, and I've been watching the Batman animated series on there. Oh, it's so good. So good. Did I watch Smallville? No. I tried. Here's what I want out of Smallville. Maybe someone can help me with this. This is what I want out of Smallville. What I want out of Smallville is the same thing X-Files did, right? Because Smallville had like 9 seasons or some shit. So what I want them to release collections like X-Files, right? Where it had like a certain type of thing, like the Black Ooze, or it was an alien abduction or whatever. Give me the arcs, right? This is what I don't like about network television, is like they don't have the arcs. They're doing it now, but for a while they never did it. So if you give me an arc that gives me a smaller area to kind of to chew into, right? A smaller area to enjoy. And the more I'm able to do that, then I'm able to like go through it a little bit faster, I think. And I don't feel like I have to slog through so much that is just filler content. You know what I mean? And so many of those shows that are trying to fill out 21 to 24 episodes per season have so much filler content. And people complain that Netflix Marvel shows have too much filler content. Imagine if it would have been like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or some shit. You know what I mean? It needed it. Anyway, I got one last minute here. Let's see here. Have I ever been to a theme park? Yes. I'm going to go to Disneyland hopefully later on this year for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Let's see here. Do I think I'm hoping we get more information in the Bob's Burgers movie here pretty soon. I'm also hoping that they don't cancel it, but then again, Bob's Burgers is one of Fox's biggest Sunday night shows, which is a fantastic show. I've been watching for it's the 9th season now, 8th, 9th season. I've been watching since 2011, so I love the show. Yes, Wesley, I believe I also agree the kid looks good too. So anyway, guys, I think that's going to wrap up what we got right here. If you guys got any questions, you can always email 3booktheater@gmail.com or call in at 818-350-3281. That's 818-350-3281. Or if you want to submit stories, you can also email as well. That's fine. You can email me stories. Some of you already do. A good way for kind of a collection bit of that. And I will talk to you guys tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard. Again, thank you so much for watching. Have yourself a great day, guys, and peace out.